Welcome back. We are just 2 days away from the biggest prize so far in the primary season, Super Tuesday. 595 delegates are up for grabs. That is about half of what is needed to win the actual nomination. Despite trailing in the polls going into Super Tuesday, my next guest says he is not going anywhere. Retired neurosurgeon and GOP presidential candidate Dr. Ben Carson joins us right now, live. Dr. Carson, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Maria.
So you have been talking about being offered money, political support to drop out. People have said, what are you doing in this race? It was funny the other night in the debate when you said, can somebody please attack me to get the attention. Is that true? You've been offered money and political support to drop out of this race?
Absolutely. You know, the machine in Washington is extremely complicated and complex. It is corrupt, and that's one of the reasons that I'm running. You know, people say, well, that's just the way it is, and we just have to accept that. I don't think we have to accept that. I think there is such a thing as right and wrong. I think there are values and principles that made this into a great nation, and as we continue to decline because we're giving away all of those things for political correctness and political power, I'm just hoping and praying that we will wake up, and that's what millions of my supporters are saying. Please don't give in. Please don't give in to the system. Please fight for us, and I'm going to do that.
So then what, I mean, this costs a lot of money. This is a lot of your time and energy. Then what is the justification then, considering the poll numbers that you're seeing, considering where Donald Trump is and the rest behind him?
Well, the justification is that I have millions of followers, and that's the reason that I got in the race in the first place. And they say, please don't drop out. And they are continuing to support me. You know, last week we had our biggest 24-hour fundraising period since the campaign started. They're not going anywhere, and therefore I'm not going anywhere either.
Let me ask you this. I was very impressed reading through a number of your ideas on the economic side. I've told you before, I think you've got a great tax policy plan, and you've said in more times than I can remember that, you know, debt and deficits are very important, and they're not being talked about enough on the campaign trail. So let's talk about that for a moment. We just had Donald Trump Jr. on. He says Mexico is going to pay for the wall. Well, I hope so, because we don't have the money to pay for such a wall, given the $19 trillion in debt. What is your solution to get the debt down and move the needle on economic growth in this country?
Well, thank you for asking that. First of all, bencarson.com, read all about it. We have to, first of all, recognize that we have the most powerful economic engine that the world has ever known. But it's impossible for it to function when it is tethered down with so many regulations. And I'm talking about ridiculous regulations. And those cost money in terms of goods and services. It's the most regressive type of taxation that there is. And then you've got that coupled with a ridiculous tax structure. And if we rectify that, make it truly fair, flat, get rid of all the deductions, all the loopholes, no double taxation, we re-incentivize the corporate tax rate, particularly overseas, and bring that money back here, those kinds of things will explode the economy, because there's trillions of dollars sitting on the sideline because the environment is not one that is conducive to investment. That's what we need to think about. Entrepreneurial risk-taking and capital investment, those are the fuels for that economic engine. So our policies need to be aimed at those things. And the kinds of things that we're doing now just don't make any sense. And continuing to drive the debt up, look at the complications associated with that. We have to continue to suppress the interest rates. That knocks out part of the American dream, the part where people used to put 5 to 10% of their check in the bank every Friday and watch it grow over the next few decades and then be able to retire. That's gone. The bond market, same thing. It's gone. The only place where you can make money is in the stock market. Who can do that? Rich people. So then along comes Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton talking about the income gap, and they said it's those evil rich people. It's not the evil rich people. It's the evil government that continues to drive these debts to a level that it's destroying our economy.
Yep, it's an important subject for sure. We'll keep talking about it. Dr. Carson, good to see you. Thanks so much.
Okay.
We'll see you soon. We'll be watching Tuesday. Dr. Ben Carson there.